morning, or depending on when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name's Ross, and as always, told out of Voice of Radio. So today we got some new products to be talking about that have gone and been revealed over on Best Buy, which happens weirdly often. It happens pretty often that products get listed on Best Buy first, and so we get quite a lot of products ending up being inadvertently revealed over on Best Buy. So cool, let's have a chat about some new tins. We've got two new tins that have been revealed. They are Paradox Pokémon tins, and they're called Paradox Clash tins, and we've got ourselves a Walking Wake, and we got ourselves an Iron Leaves. They are apparently releasing on the 24th of May, although of course this is all unconfirmed for the time being. We have to, wait and see. And generally speaking, what gets listed on Best Buy tends to be correct. Usually it's right, but as with all of this, we do need to just wait and see just for a moment, make sure that everything is as we would expect. But we do have a little bit of a description on the back of these tins. Here's what they say. An epic clashing of the past and future. Powerful Paradox Pokémon arrive from the past and future to test their might as Pokémon EX. Traverse the Azure Seas of Walking Wake EX, or deliver a Prism Edge attack with Iron Leaves EX. Whoever you choose to stand by, you'll find even more helpful Pokemon and trainer cards inside a handful of Pokemon TCG booster packs. And then what you get inside is the standard thing. 5 packs, 1 promo card, and a code card. Simple as that. Job's a good un. That is exactly what we expect. That is exactly what we get. Sometimes you do remember get the portrait version rather than landscape that have 4 packs rather than 5. They tend to be more of a European thing. As it stands at the moment, we've not seen any confirmation that they are coming or that we're getting those. That again is a wait and see situation. And I'm sure you've either seen or guessed by now, but let me make it nice and clear. Yes, they are new tins. And yes, of course, they are alternate art. Here is the lovely tin of Iron Leaves next to the Japanese regular art. We don't have a scan of regular art Iron Leaves, I'm afraid, so in English. So this is the best I can do. And here is the Walking Wake tin next to the Japanese art of the regular. Obviously, our art is going to be exactly the same, just, in English, not Japanese. So yay! You can see them next to each other. And you can decide which artwork you like better. Sweet! But we've got Paradox Pokémon tins, and I'll be honest with you, it's not like with Paldean Fates. Paldean Fate tins, I'll be honest with you, are kind of funny. Because in terms of, which one's the best, which ones are more sought after, oh my word, it's not even close. Because you've got the Charizard tin, and it is, of course, the only way to get that shiny Charizard EX. And then you've got actually Paradox Pokémon again with Iron Leaves and Great Tusk. And I love Iron Leaves and Great Tusk. And anyone that's followed this channel for any length of time will know that. Anyone who's taken a look at the logo in the bottom left-hand corner of this video is going to go, oh, this dude probably likes Donphan. Yes, this dude likes Donphan. So I'm going to be honest with you, okay? I'm kind of loving them. But we all knew what the deal was with Paldean Fates. It was always going to be the case that the Charizard was by far the most sought after, and that is exactly what happened. And most shops, when you go into them nowadays, you will find the Paradox Pokemon super easily, no issue there whatsoever. But trying to find the Charizard in stock on the shelves is, shall we say, a much bigger challenge. Are we in the same position here? No, not to the same degree. But as far as I'm concerned, and let's face it, it's still early, things can change, there does seem to be a little bit of a disparity. Iron Leaves is the better of these Pokemon. And I'm not saying Walking Wake isn't good, and I'm not saying Walking Wake isn't going to see play and going to see success. What I'm saying very simply is that right now, Iron Leaves seems to be the better of the two. And there's a very good reason for it. And, not to be talking about this Pokemon for the entire video, the reason is Charizard. Charizard right now is, it's the best deck over in Japan. It was the best deck at the beginning of the format. Japan right now are playing in the format we're going to have at EUIC when Temporal Forces becomes legal and the rotation hits. That's where Japan is right now. And when that format started, Charizard was the best deck. And as that format's gone along, Charizard has very much remained the best deck. It is a Charizard world and we're all just living in it. And would you believe it, Iron Leaf's actually really good against Charizard. Now, it's got the ability Rapid Vernier. When you play this Pokemon from your hand onto your bench during your turn, you may switch it with your active Pokemon. If you do, you may move any amount of energy from your other Pokemon to this Pokemon. So you can bench it and move a bunch of energy over, and job's a good un. That's really nice. It means you can drop it as a surprise. It's a basic Pokemon, so you just play it down, and then all of a sudden, you've got that Pokemon ready to go. Now, you still need to have, the 2 grass, 1 colorless, but it is important you can move any amount of energy over. It doesn't need to be basic or any of that. So you can basically get it down and then get it in the active without needing an extra switching card and move all the energy over straight away. That's a very, very good thing. And it hits Charizard for weakness. And it does the right amount of damage to KO Charizard. Truth be told, it doesn't actually need to even do that much. You could have it hitting 170 and it would still be good enough. You just need to double up with weakness to get over the 330 threshold. 160 wouldn't be enough, but 180 absolutely is. And that's where this has generally been seeing play over in Japan. This is an anti-Charizard card. Is it perfect? No, frankly. It is not perfect by any stretch of the imagination. Is it good? Yeah, honestly. It's an option. You need to be playing the right kind of energy, and you need to keep that energy on the field, but then you can just drop a basic Pokemon, put it straight into the active, move the energy over, and get a one-hit KO on the best attacking Pokemon in the game right now? Yeah, that's pretty good. That is not too shabby. As for Walking Wake, it's not as good, I'm going to be honest with you, but it's still a pretty cool Pokemon. Now, one of the cool things about this is the rather brilliantly named Azure Seas ability. And what this does is it says damage from attacks by this Pokemon isn't affected by any effects on your opponent's active Pokemon. So whatever they might be doing to try and stop you doing lots of damage doesn't work. And I actually really like this. This is very, very nice. It means that if you're playing an ancient deck, you've always got an option to have an out. If your opponent's trying to block you, if they're trying to stop you, if they're trying to do nefarious things, you've always got a way around it, which is lovely. And of course, one of the main things people would play to try and stop something like this would be Path to the Peak. But by the time this comes out in Temporal Forces, Path to the Peak is going to have rotated. It rotates as Temporal Forces becomes legal. So that's actually pretty good. You've got an option to go through anything. You've got a I'm going through. And actually, the attack here ain't too shabby. Catharsis Raw for a water double colorless does 120. But if your opponent's active is affected by a special condition, it does 240. And obviously, we're talking an ancient Pokemon here, so we're talking Brute Bonnet. Like, if you're looking for special conditions in an ancient deck, Brute Bonnet's your dude. Because it's got the ability Toxic Powder that if you've got an ancient booster energy capsule attached, you can make both active Pokemon poisoned. Obviously, what you really want to do is poison your active when it's not really the one with whom you're going to be attacking, and then you can get yours out the active to get rid of the poison. Your opponent takes the poison damage, but oh yeah, they're also taking the 240 from Walking Wake. It's honestly pretty good. Ancient decks do have another option for hitting through stuff. That is the Koraidon, which I adore, because it does 30 for each your ancient Pokemon in play. It's going to be a pre-release promo. It's the only English scan I've got right now, so that's the one I'm showing you. And it does have Shred that goes through these effects as well. And again, it's for a fire and a fighting, and a colorless, which is kind of awkward, and it only does 130. So there are absolutely reasons to pick Walking Wake over it, but you do have a couple of options. Once again, I think Pokemon have done a pretty good job with these tins, although I do think they could be better. I think Raging Bolt is better than Walking Wake, and I think Iron Crown is better than, and I know Iron Crown is better than Iron Leaves, so I do think there is an argument here that they could have gone for different Paradox Pokemon from Temporal Forces and actually had a better pair of tins here, but that is kind of nitpicking. These are decent Pokemon, they're alternate arts, they're rather lovely, And hey, we've got a couple new tins coming, and that's pretty awesome. But now I want to hear from you guys. Tell me what you think about these. Tell me if you're picking them up. Tell me which of these you want to be picking up. Tell me anything you want to tell me in the comment section. Go nuts! Be nice. And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at TheWasi. That's where we talk about Pokemon and a whole bunch of other card games. And please do consider checking out patreon.com/PTCGradio, where you can support the channel, get some bonus podcasts, all kinds of fun things. And get shout-outs on the channel, like the lovely Martin Cornwall, who's been a supporter of ours literally since we started the podcast in 2012. Has been an awesome dude, very supportive, so shout out to Martin for the support and the loveliness. But by far the most important thing as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.